The Central Bank of Sri Lanka has announced that steps will be taken to liquidate the ETI Finance company, which is owned by the EAP Group, if the financial crisis faced by the company is not resolved by the 30th of September. Officials of the Central Bank had reportedly met with depositors of the embattled finance company.
There are 3 Central Bank representatives on the top floor of the ETI headquarters. We met with them and were informed that they have been given time until the 30th of September to make payments to depositors or to at least bring in an investor. If the directors fail to do this by the 30th of September, then the company will be liquidated. We asked how much of our deposits we would be able to recover if it is liquidated. They said they would be able to pay about 67% and that the problem could be resolved within 6 months. We also asked about the new investor who is coming in. The Central Bank representative Ranavira said that Shivajyoti is a broker and not the investor. I directly questioned Mr. Shivajyoti yesterday and asked him if he is the investor or the broker. At that time he said clearly that he is the investor, that he is buying it and that he is the director and that it will be purchased under his name. This is what the ETI Board of Directors is saying, but the Central Bank is giving us another story.
A meeting was held between members of the ETI Board of Directors and depositors at the company's head office yesterday. They stole our money in their suits and ties. If people who steal mangoes and coconuts can be imprisoned, but the suits who steal our money are being protected, what is the meaning of this government?
The committee, ETI and the Central Bank are all doing nothing. These people are despairing now. Since January, people have been coming here and suffering. They have nothing left.
As far as I know, these people are to be produced before court by the CID on the 17th. We are hoping to make a statement before court on behalf of the depositors on this date. The depositors have agreed to this. ETI Finance reportedly has over 25,000 depositors. Depositors claim that the total sum of deposits amounts to approximately 36 billion rupees. No bank financial institutions, including ETI Finance, are regulated through the Central Bank's Department of Supervision of Non-Bank Financial Institutions. Among the regulatory functions of this department are the supervision of these finance companies and the calling of annual income and the expenditure reports. Whether it is a bank or a finance company, if the money is being collected from the public, then it falls under the purview of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. While companies like ETI were collapsing recently, deposits amounting to about 32 billion rupees were collected from the public. Even if you add up all the assets of this company, it will not amount to even 15 billion rupees. Now there is a question as to how they will repay the 34 billion in deposits. What we are asking is this: what happened to the annual review of this company that collected money from the public by the Central Bank? What kind of supervision was done? Who were the officials who supervised it? And what did they do? We suspect whether while this company was collapsing, a portion of the public's deposit found their way into the hands of these central bank officials. When more finance companies collapse in the near future, and as people are thrown from the frying pan to the fire, we question whether the central bank will continue to remain silent. Reports indicate that a new investor is to come on board to resolve the financial crisis faced by ETI Finance. Reports also say that this will lead to an investment of $75 million. It also noted that of this total, a sum of $32 million has already been received. Depositors have reportedly received 10% of this sum.
They have received about $43 million by selling off assets. We have been paid 10%. We have been informed that there is another portion that is left over. Where is that money? Have they used it for their other businesses? We have gotten to know that it may have been utilized for the other businesses. If this is the case, then the central bank must intervene.
If an investor has paid money, then that money should be used to repay the depositors in order to resolve the ETI crisis. This should be the first priority. If this money is being used for other affiliated businesses of this company, whether it be media institutions, cinemas or jewelry shops, then it is a grave injustice. We call on the government and the central bank to ensure that if money has been received from an investor, then the first task at hand is to immediately repay the public's money. The central bank has been conferred the responsibility of regulating banks and registered financial institutions. ETI Finance Limited is bankrupt today due to the lack of proper supervision by the central bank and because depositors' money was poorly managed and used to finance other businesses. As a result, a large group of depositors have lost their investments. It was only afterwards that the government stepped in to provide relief to the depositors. Now, while an investor has come forward, the priority should be to ensure that depositors receive that money. If instead that money goes back into the hands of the owners of ETI or to finance other ventures like media businesses, it will not serve the interests of the depositors. To the officials at the central bank who neglected their duty, we pose this question. What would be the situation if such a fate were to befall someone in your family? Think for a minute. Stop deceiving the public and take steps to ensure that the depositors' monies are returned as soon as possible.